Well, hello and welcome to Business Today TV. I am Chetan Bhutani. Well, we are at Ocean, also known as the Bhubaneswar of Rajasthan, and of course the entry point of Thar Desert. But that's not the story. The story is the all-new Creta. Well, that's right. Creta, first launched in 2015, changed the way Hyundai sold SUVs, and it now accounts for close to about 60% of the SUVs that Hyundai sells in India. So we're going to drive it around in the city of Jodhpur, and we will tell you how the car performs, how aesthetic changes the company has done to the car, and what all is different in the all-new Creta. Let's have a look. However, what Hyundai has done in its all-new Creta is given you a dual-tone grey interiors with a horizontal dashboard. Well, what does it do? So when you sit in the car, you get a feeling of premiumness and plushness. Talking about the big part is in the interior is of course the connected screens. This is your infotainment system. This is your cockpit where you have your Odo and all. Is it distracting? The big question. No, it's not distracting. Hyundai has ensured that in spite of the screen is connected, they have bifurcated it very nicely and it does not come into my vision while driving. One more thing that we are in an era where the touch screen and touch is of course the new thing, but what Hyundai has done, they have not departed from the usual physical buttons, and that's really a nice thing because it doesn't distract the driver or the co-passenger doesn't have to fiddle with the touch screens. So if you can see, you have two different temperature settings for the driver and the co-driver. You have all the buttons here for the radio, for setting your media, your map, and of course your other buttons as well. And you can probably adjust your temperature with this physical button, tune with your FM radio and all with this button, and power push off is the new button here. This is your wireless charging port. You have your normal USB, the Type C for the iPhone and all, and of course you have the cigarette lighter socket as well. So what Hyundai has done here is a pretty good move of providing the physical buttons and not relying much on the touch buttons or a feather touch buttons, because that could really fiddle with the performance. So a good move. The interiors look great, and what Hyundai could have done is giving you a little bit more bigger AC vents, because it creates kind of a lower blowout from the AC vents as well. Alright, well, the much-awaited Creta is finally here, and now I'm joining Mr. Tarun Garg, the CEO of Hyundai India. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Fantastic car again, sir. We have just started with January 2024, sir. What does this car entail for you and your customers? Are you planning an audience which would again be a SUV-centric audience, or recapturing the imagination again of a mid-size SUV, sir?
Look, if you see Creta, since it was launched in 2015, I think it has become synonymous with SUVs, if I may say. It's like a king of SUVs, and it has always been the market leader. And now we have sold close to 1 million Cretas already on the Indian roads. And if you see the new Creta, I think it is an aspiration. It is what the youth wants, and this is how we have always approached the Creta. And although it's a facelift, but you can see the kind of changes which we have brought in the car. And I believe that Creta has always done better. Last year also it had a growth of 12% over 22 volumes, and going forward not only will it continue to enthrall the existing SUV customers, but also bring in new customers from the outside SUVs into the Creta segment.
Absolutely, sir. Also, when it comes to the SUV segment, sir, Creta enjoys a lot of dominance when it comes to its particular segment, sir. How are you looking in 2024 with Creta coming in? What volumes are you planning to look at, sir?
So look, if you see, SUVs contributed 60% to our overall sales in 2023. Now with the Creta coming in, and also Exter being for the full year, I am expecting that this year will end up with 65% contribution from SUVs. Creta continues to be a segment leader. 1 in 3 cars in the mid SUV segment have been Cretas over the past 8 years, and I think that is some record to have. Creta, in fact, in the mid SUV segment, the market share for Creta was a very healthy 31% last year as well.
So now, sir, coming back to the point of SUV sales in India, we saw a record numbers in 2023, sir. Close to 1 million cars being sold. I mean, that's not a small number for a market like India. Of course, it's not big as well. 2024 experts are saying, industry professionals like you're also saying, it could be a little muted because in the starting people are conservative in buying. What is the outlook for 24, sir?
So I think India has shown a lot of resilience, and we understand that there are geopolitical tensions and inflation is high, interest rates are high. But at the same time, if you see the growth forecast for India, the GDP forecast continues to go up. GST collections are high. Car industry grew by 8.2% in 23 over 22, when we were all expecting at the beginning of 23 that it would be around 3.5 to 5%. I feel 24 should see a growth first, that is very clear, and possibly my expectation is it could be a single digit, maybe 3 to 4% growth, which I think is also very good, because if you see a long term CAGR also 5 years or 10 years, it hovers around 3.5 to 4%. So a 3 to 4% growth over 23, when we had a 9% growth or 8.2% growth over 22, which had a 22% growth. So I think it's not bad at all, and we are very proud that we are in India, and India is really growing. So I think 24 should be good in terms of growth, and 3 to 4% could be a good estimate.
Do you think the Indian automobile segment is finally consolidating from the ups that it saw in the past 1 or 2 years post COVID, and now it's eventually getting stable and consolidation is happening with respect to EVs also and ICE engines also?
I would say that as long as we are growing, it's very good. So consolidation and terms like that are where you are saying it's like a conservative thing. But I think if as long as we continue to grow over last year, we should be happy, because, like I said, there are so many unfavorable things happening globally, and there are so many markets who have still not reached the pre-COVID level. If you see in Europe and so many other markets, they have not reached the pre-COVID level. Whereas in India, 22 was highest ever, 23 was highest ever, and now 24 also we are seeing a growth over 20 over that. So I think there is no cause for any undue concern. But yes, we have to really watch the geopolitical game still
I was
going
coming to
forward.
that only, sir. For a big company like you who has a lot of international exposure as well, two wars, the Red Sea issue, the dollar going up, the EMI is going up with interest rates, five issues, particularly hurting the interest of consumers. How are you cushioning your buyers, the Indian audience as well, and what outlook do you have? Are you somewhere concerned here, sir?
No, concern, if I answer, yes, concern, yes, because nobody likes instability, nobody likes increased costs and all that. But I think it's too early to talk about what impact it would have. And I think I talked about India showing a lot of resilience. I think Hyundai as a company has always shown a lot of resilience, whether it was COVID times, and you, like I said, 22 we had the highest ever in India, 23 we had the highest ever in India. We are looking at a growth this year as well. So I think yes, we still have to see how it will pan out. Matter of concern, but very difficult to quantify that this is the impact as of now, whether on exports or on the supply chain. So far, so good. I think in exports also last year we had a 10% growth. So I think so far things are looking okay.
Do you have an exposure towards exports through the sea, and is the Red Sea concern be coming through, or are you yet to assess the issue?
So I would say that it's too early to comment on that.
Okay. Final question, sir. Now, 2024 is up. How much growth is the company looking at? How much sector growth you are looking at in totality, sir?
Look, like I mentioned that even last year, if you see, the industry grew by 8.2%, Hyundai grew by 9%. So we are able to increase our market share. And I think as long as we continue to bring good products in the relevant segments, I think market share should go up. So if we are expecting industry should be in the low single digit, we should be doing at least that, if not more.
So 6,000 crores additional investment was announced in Tamil Nadu during the investor summit, sir. What where would be that be used? Would that be included for expanding at Ford plant, or how that synergies work
So,
out?
like details, we will, as you see, we'll be announcing more and more. Of course, 180 crores out of that is very clearly towards that hydrogen thing with the IIT Chennai, and of course the expansion continuously happening in new products. We talked about the battery localization, which was a part of the 20,000 crore that we invested, because it's all about bringing in also more and more EVs at a decent cost. cost, and for that localization is very important. So you will see more and more products, improved capacity, of course the Pune plant. So I think there's a lot of things lined up. Today is the time to talk about Creta, which is a blockbuster SUV, and we believe that it should really again make 24 a great year as 23 and as 22.
Last final question. The budget is around, sir. Any expectations from the union government that you would like to pass on, sir?
So I would say that any budget which is good for the country, for the people of the country, is good for the car industry. So I think government has done very well, and the economy is really thriving. So we are very confident in the ability, and they know their job. So yeah, as long as India continues to grow, I think car industry will continue to
At
thrive.
this stage, will you be able to tell me the 3 cars that you're sending for Bharat and Cap?
We will be informing you soon.